This is Harry Potter.
Oh, yes.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Got back from Hogwarts.
All right. How was class?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Do you ever listen to any other podcasts besides Top3Tech?
I like Geekorama. They're funny.
They seem like they would talk about you a lot.
They're actually big fans of yours, Harry.
I'm drunk.
Have you ever heard Horribly Underprepared?
Yeah, they're good.
Well, thanks, Harry. I know you've got a busy schedule.
All right.
Yeah.
Good luck, Harry.
Thanks for stopping by.
I don't think you get a better celebrity endorsement than Harry Potter.
Cheerio, listen to podcast.
Celebrity voice is badly impersonated.
Top 3 Tech with Ben and Gabe, your source for this week's top stories and news, apps and gadgets. Top 3 Tech, part of the Horribly Unprepared Network.
Sure.
Yeah, we're getting bad at that. Your mic's right in your face, by the way.
Welcome, everybody, to Top 3 Tech. I think we're on number 20.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. Again, we've got video rolling, so if you guys want to check it out on top3tech.com. And anything else? Ben's running video today, so if it's his fault if things go wrong.
Yep.
We've got Andy here from Horribly Underprepared.
Hello.
And we're gonna talk about some technology today. So
He's in relaxed position.
I am in relaxed. Oh, don't.
chill position.
Good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Nice. All right. I guess we can jump in right into it. I guess we could start with some software today.
Sure.
We talked a little bit about cutting the cord as far as our video goes, like for TV and stuff like that. You've recently dumped your cable, haven't you?
I have.
How are you living without
mistake.
cable?
I'm just fine because there's so many options out there on the internet.
What type of things are you using for options?
Netflix, Amazon Prime. Right now that's what I'm using is Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Because there's tons of stuff on Amazon Prime for free.
There's lots.
Well, not for free. It's like $80 a month or $80 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then borrowing friends HBO Go, but haven't
Don't you mean using HBO Go?
haven't actually used that yet. So
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much Amazon Prime is what I'm using.
Cool.
Instant video.
What do you do for like local TV or local news or anything? Do you use anything for that?
What I do is I come into work and people say, "There's a hurricane coming." Oh, okay.
We give them local television reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know you're not a real big sports guy, but would that be something that you'd miss, you think?
Sports?
Yeah. Because you can't
No,
really get live sports.
I
with
have
anything.
TV and I don't miss sports.
I don't watch sports at all, so
That's
yeah.
actually been one of the things that have kind of helped me make my decision not to cut cords yet, is because I really like sports. So it's really difficult to watch sports because there's no other options for live sports. Until now. So our third story for the day in software is that Watch ESPN app. There's a new one, and it's gonna be available for your Xbox 360, and it's basically gonna let you watch live sports on your Xbox 360 now.
Well, that's cool.
I'm not sure how much it's gonna be or anything.
They announced that a while ago, though, didn't they?
Yeah, but I think it's coming live this week. I
You were
believe.
just on it with those cameras, Ben.
I am so on
Switching
it.
back and forth.
So, yeah, that's one other excuse, I guess, that people don't have anymore, because now they can get live sports content for cutting.
I still want to see somebody who offers pay $5 a month per channel, and you can pick whatever channels you want.
do kind of an a la carte thing.
Yeah.
I would love that. I'd love that so much. But
So I've talked about it several times. There's only a few channels I really watch, and I don't need a lot of the fluff. I don't need Honey Boo Boo channel.
yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. Andy was trying to talk me into subscribing to the...
Follow the Honey Boo Boo tag on Tumblr and just look at the glory it brings into your life.
Could you live without that?
I love the internet. I can't live without the internet.
So why is it that you're not a big fan of watching the show?
The
but
show
you're-
is awful, but it makes so many. It's so ridiculous, and it makes so many good pictures for the internet.
I see.
So as far as like so I guess cutting the cords. The only thing, one thing I know you've been missing out on, Ben, because you were a fan of The Walking Dead, and you haven't been able to watch that recently, have you?
I haven't, but
So now we can just come to work and spoil it for him.
I know.
I'm actually a much bigger fan of the comics rather than the show.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of the show.
Okay.
I don't think it did the comics justice.
Yeah.
This season has been
I don't know.
nothing
It's
short of
been pretty good.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's been actually really good.
It's been that
Yeah.
good, huh?
It's
Yeah.
been an amazing season. It's almost like a completely different show.
Yeah, I was gonna say you
Hmm.
can't look at it as being a comic thing. The comic is one thing, and the show is something completely different.
For me, the show, the very first episode of the show was, for the longest time, the pinnacle of the entire series
Right.
because it was amazing how good the first episode
it
was.
was perfect,
And then
practically.
season 3 has been building on that so well. Like, I don't think there's been a bad episode in season 3 so far.
No, it's been good. It's been really good. That being said, I've got another friend, and he's completely cut the cords, but he's pretty extravagant. He's actually built himself a little box a machine, a computer that he just has for his home entertainment stuff, and he goes out and actually pulls from sources all the shows that he wants to watch, records them like a DVR, has them on his machine, and he has he's missing nothing that he wants as far as that goes. As far as cutting cords go, he's got everything that he ever needs, including movies and stuff too. Don't know how legal the stuff that he's doing is, but he's doing it.
So where's his source?
I don't know right now.
Huh? He's getting stuff from somewhere, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I guess
BitTorrents.
yes. I think it is a certain BitTorrents, and I think there's certain BitTorrents that are exclusive to this cutting cords. Hey, you want to watch the latest Survivor? Here it is, and it's all.
Do people
everything.
BitTorrent Survivor?
Oh yeah, it's
Why?
all out there. I don't know, because it's Survivor. I have no idea.
We got it after like the first 2 seasons.
But
There's nothing they're going to do to innovate that show anymore.
that's true. The other thing though is you've got things like the new Wii U that has video in and out, and you can use it as a DVR. I don't know if you're aware of that.
I was.
And yeah, online and stuff. Can't you? Haven't they partnered with a bunch of people too, so you can watch shows? I know they've got.
It's not live yet.
I know they've got Hulu and they've got
Not yet.
Netflix.
Not yet, they
Well,
don't.
They don't until December,
Yeah.
but they will have Hulu. They'll have Netflix. Well, they do have Netflix now.
I think
And
they
then
do,
they'll
yeah.
have like Amazon Prime and everything too through the Wii U. I think they're trying to make their box kind of the central box, not only for gaming but also for media entertainment.
Oh, you mean just like Sony and Microsoft already did?
Kind of already did.
Kind of fully did.
You still can't use them as DVRs and record
Don't
local
need to.
programming or anything like that.
I don't see any reason for it.
Again, sports. That's probably your biggest thing. If
I
you
don't
wanna
see
watch
any
live
reason
local.
for it.
Or network channels,
Yeah.
any of the network channels too, which I guess you can get most of those on Hulu, but there's some stuff you can't.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll talk more about some rumors about Microsoft in a little bit too on that
Ooh,
front.
I like Microsoft.
It's a tease.
Nice.
That's what we call in the business a tease. The podcasting business. So our number 2 subject today on software is we're talking about rumors are starting to come out about Mac OS 10.9.
Jaguar Undy.
What's that?
Jaguar Undy.
Jaguar Undy. That's what you want it to be, right?
I want it to be their new cat.
So I think I hate talking about things earlier because then I can't say, hey, Ben, what do you think they're going to call the next one? Because you already know.
Yeah. Well,
We don't know. It's
Yeah.
rumored.
I guessed. I got a good guess though.
So I've got a list here of all the other ones. Starting in 2001, the first one was released was Cheetah, and then Puma, and then Jaguar, and then Panther, and then Tiger, Leopard, Snow Leopard, Lion, and now Mountain Lion. And I guess, according to Mashable, Apple just already has the trademark for 2 cats that they haven't used yet, and those 2 cats are the Lynx and the Cougar. They've already used Mountain Lion, and they've already used Puma, which are the same cat.
I don't
Would
know
they
why
do
this is so
Cougar?
entertaining to me. Just so stupid.
It's dumb that
Let's
we're
call
even
it
talking about
cats.
this. But, so I don't think they'd call it Cougar, Because
No.
they've already got Puma and they've already got Mountain Lion, which is the same cat, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think. So it'd probably be called Lynx.
Jaguarundi.
Jaguarundi. If anybody has any, I've never even heard of that until today. So
Oh, I
look it up.
forgot the one that we came up with earlier.
Which one was that?
The mixed cat. What was it called?
The cat dog thing?
Oh, the
Jagualep? No.
Jagalep?
Jagalep.
Jagalep.
That's a
Yeah,
Jagalep.
Jagalep. That's what I want it to
I
be.
should call it the Jagalep. On the same front as far as Mac OS 9 or 10.9, OS X 10.9, there's rumor today out that they're also going to be incorporating Siri and the wonderful Apple Maps into it.
Oh, man.
What do you guys think about that?
I'm so glad I didn't upgrade to the recent one. I will upgrade to that one because that has everything I want.
I just think it's funny that that's the headline is Mac OS X 10.9.
How lazy do you have to be when you are on a computer and you're like, I need to use Siri? You're on a computer, just Google it. Quit being lazy.
In Mountain Lion, it's already got dictation and stuff, so you can use dictation using the Siri model, so I don't see why they wouldn't throw that in there.
That's not their main bullet points.
Well,
for
I
this
guess,
update,
okay. I
is
guess
it?
it's not a lazy thing, too. I guess it helps people who are handicapped.
I really hope those are not their number one bullet points for the update.
I don't think it's their number one bullet points. I just think that that's something that's come out recently. They said this is a new rumor that's out there. Is that hey, guess what? We're gonna be we're gonna have
Siri
and Apple Maps.
Okay.
And they're talking about opening Apple Maps up to other people with like an SDK too, so people can use it.
That's not going to go horribly awry.
Anyway,
No way.
the two probably biggest failures in Tim Cook's career so far. Well, I don't know. Siri wasn't Tim Cook.
Siri
was it?
was all your boy Steve Jobs.
That was all Steve Jobs. Anyway, they're not real giant things. These aren't things going, ooh, I really want this phone because it has Siri or because it has Apple Maps.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it's there. So I guess we'll see. It's
Do
like
you guys
make
ever
you
just look at the camera?
sometimes. You
I don't know if it's
point
weird.
at it every
Like,
once in a while.
is it weird that I'm just looking at the camera?
Well, it's
I don't
See
know
how
what to
Ben's
do.
doing it.
It wasn't looking at you when you were just looking at it.
Okay. But either way, like I just look over at it.
You get
You're
used
staring
to it.
into it and
Yeah.
talking directly to the camera. Well, it's kind of weird because when Ben and I are across from each other and we're talking
Yeah,
to
it
each
looks
other,
fine.
I look at Ben and it looks like I'm kind of looking right into
But
the
I'm
camera.
on this side. When you guys are talking, I don't know what to do, so I just stare at the camera.
All right. Let's see. Kind of cool. This is my favorite story, at least in software today, for sure.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
All right.
There's a ceiling camera now, guys.
If you guys are wondering what's going on, you got to watch the video because Ben's being goofy.
It wasn't.
Yeah, there's so many. This opens up so many possibilities.
Andy started it. Yeah.
This is actually my favorite, and it's kind of there's a software version of it and there's a hardware version of this story, so I'm kind of incorporating both of them into this story.
All right.
How long have you wanted to control your computer with your brain?
Never.
Since I was born.
No, that would
Yeah.
be pretty cool.
That would be awesome.
Since you were
wouldn't it?
born, you came
Yeah.
out of the womb and you're like, I can't wait to do this in my
This
future.
needs to happen.
You
Yeah.
don't even have to lift your arms up. You just think about it, and cursors move around and stuff.
I guess that'd be pretty sweet.
According to a team in where are they? They're in Stanford University. They've created the best and fastest and most accurate algorithm for controlling computer cursors with your thoughts. They said it's so much better than anything else that's ever been.
How do they do it?
One of the big
It's
things.
almost. Do you have to wear one of those like baseball hats, sensor hats?
Hold on a second.
Okay.
We'll get to that
We're
in
getting
the
there?
hardware version of the
Ooh.
story. They're not related, but they kind of are.
Okay.
So according to the team, even a paralyzed person thinks of moving his like arms and legs. They take those synapses of saying, okay, you're moving your hand like this. And they can read that. Up until this point, they could only read what the movement was and not the velocity, or the velocity but not the movement. So what they would have to do is they'd have to read, okay, I'm moving this way, and now how fast am I moving? Okay, I stopped. Now then it'd have to stop. So you had smear. So you're trying to move a cursor, and it would keep going until you had to think stop. What they've done now is the algorithms, they measure neurons with the help of a brain. Right now it's a brain implantable sensor. They can capture the values, and the algorithm does both
That's
action
cool.
and velocity.
So I'm all for the integrating of technology into the human body. So that's kind of cool. Here's my question, though. Do your thoughts have to be focused solely on the computer? Can I reach for a glass of water And will that mess up what I'm doing?
I am not sure. I'm not sure. It didn't really breach that in the article that I read about it, but it did say that it's the most accurate and the fastest algorithm for brain-controlled computer cursors that's ever been made yet. They're talking. Of course, this isn't just, hey Ben, you're gonna control your computer. This is gonna be for people that have, have problems that are that.
My problem is that I don't want to have to use my hands to use my computer.
Again, going to the next story.
Um,
So anyway, it's very big news. People are going crazy over it online right now. Everybody's talking about it because they're saying this is far more accurate than anything else. So you have paraplegics and stuff like that can't move their limbs. This is going to be an easier way for them to communicate, to get around, to move, all kinds of stuff. So it's kind of a really cool
That is
story, I
pretty neat.
think. They're talking about it as leaps and bounds in the advancement of this.
You have kids, and maybe you've seen this. Will it work as good as the Star Wars Force training toy that you can get, where you use your thoughts to levitate a ball?
I don't know what that is.
It's at Toys R Us.
I'm sure it'll work better. I can't
I don't
imagine
know.
a Toys R Us
What's better?
levitating ball would work that
But
well.
it's the Force
How do you buy the Force?
with your midi-chlorian
Your
card.
midichlorians. Oh,
That's
look,
how Anakin was so good. He had all the midi-chlorians.
yeah, most of them.
Yeah.
So on the same note, and I know we're getting into hardware here in the software section, but the article, this is an article again in Mashable. It says Google Glasses passé, voice-controlled intelligent agents so over, controlling the tempo of call me maybe with your heartbeat, please. The future of wearable computing is all about using your noggin. This is a not Kickstarter. What's the other one?
Oh,
I can't remember. the name of it.
Indiegogo?
Indiegogo.
Yeah.
This is an Indiegogo project. And what it is a headband. It fits like glasses. So you know how you put your glasses over your ears, and then instead of it doesn't have any glasses in front of it. It just comes over your ears and then goes up around your head on your headband. And it's got 4 EEG sensors in the headband, and then 2 behind each of the ears.
Okay,
And
cool.
these are brain sensors, so they're actually reading your thoughts. So this is proven to act or to work actually really well with these different things. And they're planning on putting this out. This is an Indiegogo project. They're planning on putting this out with SDKs, trying to get people to implement it into their stuff, like the system that we just saw from that we heard about from Stanford.
Mhm.
This could be used in cooperation with that to actually Ben to control his computer with his brain.
Yes.
I was going to try and make a sports reference, but I couldn't think of the basketball guy who wears the headbands that everybody...
Oh, Carmelo Anthony. Does he
Is
wear
it
them?
him?
I don't
LeBron
remember.
James?
LeBron wears them too.
Yeah.
A lot of them do. But
Yeah, I'm just... I knew there
What's
was a
your point?
sports guy who wore headbands. And I was going to try and make a sweet sports reference, but I couldn't do it.
so they actually
That's
have
all. I had to interrupt to tell you that I couldn't make a reference.
they actually have a pretty cool video on the Indiegogo about this this thing. It's called the Muse,
The Muse.
MUSE, and it's
Do you
the
think
Muse headband.
sues them?
I don't know. I like Muse. They're good.
Good.
But this sounds kind of sounds kind of interesting, and it's just funny that the same day I found both of those stories. They're completely unrelated to each other, but they're kind of related. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about controlling stuff with your brain?
I think it's great. Put a microchip in my brain.
You're ready to go, huh?
I'm ready.
I just don't
Hook
see
me
how
up.
they're going to do it. And maybe they can, where I could still be... Because reaching for a glass of water, you're using... It seems like you're using like the same thing you would do to reach for your mouse and move your mouse around.
Yeah.
Like, you're using your arms, so I don't see how they would be able to do anything. Like, if I
Like-
take my focus off of the computer, what's it do? Is all I
Yeah.
want to know.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not smart enough to know that.
I think we're still quite a ways out before this technology is really implementable.
But I want the good things now.
Yeah, because the same thing, like you're gonna start thinking about something else, and you're gonna start clicking things on
Yeah.
your screen and reach for a glass of water. And
On the video for the Muse, they actually had different people there. They have like I don't know. There's a little ball thing that this guy makes that you can control this ball around with
yeah,
your brain
I've seen
thing.
that.
And he's excited for this headband because it's so much easier than sticking electrodes all over your head and stuff. He was saying he's gonna, as soon as he gets his, he's gonna implement it immediately into that.
That's
the guy
cool.
who did all the special effects for, what was that Tom Cruise movie where he moved stuff around?
Oh,
Minority Report.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the guy that did all that, he's saying that he's immediately going to implement that headband into his technology too, so that he can move stuff with his head instead of trying to move stuff around with your hands. So they have some pretty good people behind them as far as putting stuff together, I guess. And this is a pretty well-known company. They've been doing a lot of this type of stuff too. So it looks like it's a pretty legit Indiegogo project. I'm gonna look. I haven't looked into how much it's gonna cost to get a headband when they first come out, but it might be worth looking into. It'd be cool.
They're only like $5 at Walmart. How much more could this one be?
It's funny.
Put some resistors in it. Call it good.
All right. Well, let's take a little break.
Okay.
I can't get these memories.
If you haven't watched our video feed, today would be the day to do it.
It takes a lot of the magic away. Because, like, now people know what Ben does.
That might be good.
Yeah.
The professor.
Yeah, I don't want to lose my magic.
So I heard you're part of a podcast.
No.
You're not?
No.
You weren't last week.
No, I wasn't last week.
What was that all about?
I was tired. No, I don't remember. I had something to do and I just couldn't make it or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
I
good
was in the
show.
southern part of the state. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Horribly underprepared.
Those guys are goofy. You know what's funny is Kaze never actually mentioned who he had with him in studio through the whole show. I mean, I guess if you listen to Geek Around Me, you would know
You
that
know Adam, but
Adam
you
was
wouldn't know
there,
that
but I have
Adam's
no
brother.
idea. Is that
Yeah.
okay? Yeah, he didn't announce it. He didn't ever announce it. He was just like, they all just started talking, started
That's good enough.
hating everything. As soon as that
I told
happened.
Kaze, I was like, it's finally an episode I can listen to of our own podcast because I'm not on it. I don't want to hear myself.
But
I have no problem imposing my views on other people, but I don't want to have to hear myself later.
Kaze and Andy have a podcast called Horribly Underprepared.
Yep.
They're kind of the mothership of the Horribly Underprepared network. So take a listen. They're actually a lot of fun. Yeah, they talk about everything. If you're kind of into nerd culture, or geekdom, or just want to hear some guys BS and breaking each other's balls a little bit,
Beer.
it's a good show. You talk a lot about beer.
Beer's good.
Beer's good. So anyway, check them out. Horribly Underprepared. HorriblyUnderprepared.com.
Madness was taking control.
All right. Had to play Muse.
People also know that when you take a break, you're not actually taking a break.
I know. Because I run that music under the bed the whole time anyway.
Well, and because now with the video,
Yeah.
like you could fake it before and be like, no, we just recorded all that separate part and we just played it.
Yeah.
Now you can't even
Yeah.
fake it.
Yeah, we don't take breaks. I don't know. I guess the reason
It's
I'm
not a
doing that
break.
is just so we can get some
Segues.
promo stuff in it. A segue. We'll
Yeah.
just call it a
Moves
segue.
into a nice thing.
Not like the scooter
I'm
segue.
sorry, I'm making a lot
just
of noise. I gotta
segue.
move the mic though.
It's okay. Now I sound like Kaze.
Comfortable.
That's okay.
Let's all situate.
Okay. It's a new segment. It's time to move a little bit.
All right. Well, let's talk some hardware now. So going back to our conversation a little bit earlier, we're gonna get to that in a minute. Xbox. What is the name of this website? Xbox World. I think it's a British website. Came out with a bunch of leaks on the Xbox 720. Did you read up on that?
I didn't. I didn't even see anything about that.
Yeah, they said the Microsoft's. They're gonna say. First of all, they said it's gonna be called the 720, which I think that's stupid. I don't like the name.
I don't believe that for a second. That's what it's actually going to be called. If it is, then
Yeah.
that's stupid, but I'll still buy it anyways.
I know I will too, but the rumors say, at least according to Xbox World, that it's going to still be called the 720. That it's going to come with a new version of Kinect 2.0, which is going to be more sensitive, better voice control, and capability of tracking four players instead of 2 players.
And for the low price of $550.
I don't know what the price is. They didn't say anything about the price from what I saw. They did say it's going to have a Blu-ray drive, which has kind of been
Which,
rumored
if
for
they
a
didn't,
while.
that'd be ridiculous.
Right. The other thing that I've heard for the first time is that they're talking about having an AV port for watching and recording broadcast TV. So going back to the whole cord cutting thing, the possibility of your Xbox being your, you can over the air get broadcast TV, record stuff, again, watch live sports, news, things that cord cutters are missing right now. Then they also have all their stuff with their, I guess they're not calling it, they're not, what are they calling their movie thing now? It's still not Zune, is it?
What they call it? I don't know.
Xbox movie. I think they went
Something-
everything
something
Xbox
stupid.
now.
I
Xbox
think you're
audio,
right.
Xbox
Yeah.
music, and Xbox video. So they're talking about incorporating all that in. Plus, you put a tuner in there, and you can get over the air broadcast, live sports, live news, all that kind of stuff, and DVR
I mean,
recording capabilities.
It wouldn't have a tuner built in. It would have you could do a peripheral that you would plug into it that would be
Probably,
a tuner.
yeah, I'm sure it probably doesn't have a tuner, but there is AV input and output. So, anyway, trying to think. I think that's about all they had as far as the rumors go. They had a picture of it, a mock-up, like a drawing of it.
Yeah, I think I
And
found what it's supposed.
did
If
you
that's
see the
what it
picture
really
of it?
looks like, it's going to be pretty sweet
It looks
looking.
it looks like a big Apple TV.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Looks
An Apple
just
TV
kinda-
or a Big Mac Mini or.
Yeah, it's kind of blah. I don't
I
mind
like
it.
it.
I don't mind
If
it.
it comes in the black that the picture is, that'd
Yeah.
be. I doubt that's what the final. We're gonna find out soon. I would say within the next 3 months we're gonna find out.
I think we're gonna have to. They've got to refresh things.
Tell you
pretty
what, it's
quickly.
gonna make PAX really interesting next year.
Yeah,
Which
that's
I'm
true because there's
super
probably
pumped
gonna be
for it.
something from Sony too, by then.
I mean, middle of March. If they want to put it out by the end of the year, they almost have to because
Yeah.
they're not gonna announce it in June or July at E3.
I think they should stick with the code name. The code name's Durango.
Yeah.
The Xbox or the Microsoft Durango.
Copyright infringements.
Xbox Durango.
Somebody's gonna be in a legal battle with Dodge.
They're talking about 4 hardware cores, and each divided into 4 logical cores with 8 gig of RAM. Some of the other stuff.
The 8 gig of RAM, I would have serious doubts about.
Right.
Just because 2 gigs of RAM was standard when the original Xbox came out, and they only did 512.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
They always seem.
They
I don't
get-
think they'll go higher end because it costs too much, and they're already taking a hit on it to start with.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's not like they make a lot of money on the hardware.
They lose money bad for the first few years, is what I've always read.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Are you expecting an Xbox this year, Ben?
I have no predictions there. I don't
Yeah.
know. I haven't looked into it much.
So why did Sony put out their latest PS3, the big hard drive skinny machine, like their 3rd generation of the Xbox 3?
They always do that.
Isn't that weird though? I mean, I guess they did it before
bring
too,
out
didn't they?
A bunch of different PlayStation 2 models, a couple different. I don't remember if they did it with PS1 or not.
They
PS2 they
did
had several
did.
models though.
because right before they put out the PS2, they put out that little tiny
Oh,
skinny
yeah, yeah.
PS1. Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah, because PS2
Yeah.
they definitely
'Cause I
ran
bought
up new
one.
models right until before the PS3 came out.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So I guess there is some
I
precedence
would be
behind it.
really, really surprised if there wasn't a new Xbox and a new PlayStation next year, or at least
Yeah.
one or the other.
Yeah, I think
Sony
they've
likes
got
to be last out of the gate. It seems like
You know what's funny?
recently.
The Wii U came out this weekend, and I didn't even put this on my top 3 as far as hardware stories. I don't know.
It's nothing to be super excited about.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm not excited about it.
Me neither.
Oh, that's the other thing.
Well-
the new Xbox was reported to have a new controller with an HD touchscreen on it.
Don't ruin the controller. It's so good.
I know.
Don't ruin the Xbox controller.
It's the
Or
best.
at least give me the option to use the controller there is now because it is such a good controller.
It is. It's really nice. I that's why I hate my PS3. I hate the
I
controller.
don't like the
on
controller.
PS3. hate
I
it.
did find these little things that you could put on the back triggers though that make it more like an Xbox back trigger,
Yeah.
and that helps a little bit.
Does it? It just feels like I'm gonna break that thing all the time.
Yeah,
it's just
it's
like this
tiny.
little tiny thing.
It's tiny and light.
Drives me crazy.
I wish the Xbox controller was bigger because my
The old
hands are
Xbox
too big.
One,
Yeah.
the first
Yeah.
Xbox controller.
Xbox One controllers, those
Mhm.
are great.
Those are giant.
There's not much I want out of the new Xbox. I want to
Yeah.
be more powerful.
Blu-ray.
I want
would
at
be
least
nice.
I want Blu-ray. I want at least 4 gigs of RAM. I want a good processor. I want a good graphics processor, and I want the controller to stay exactly the same.
Yeah.
Their
Yeah.
UI can be garbage as long as the controller is the same and it's a more powerful machine.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I guess. Hopefully, we'll see it soon. I'd like to know what's coming out. And I don't have anything to say about the Wii U.
It's
The
the
only
start
thing
of its life cycle. It's not going to be impressive for at least another year or two.
the only thing that's really intriguing to me about the Wii U is what do they call it? The TV.
Yeah, that doesn't launch until next month or the beginning of January.
TVII. Yeah, it doesn't even launch until next month, and
Yeah,
that would be
firmware
the
update.
only thing that would be compelling to buy it, I think.
I don't understand what that is.
What, the Wii U?
No, the
Oh, the TV. I don't. They.
like you can watch TV somehow and it's interactive
Yeah.
somehow. Like great.
Well, it's like a message board while you're watching TV that you could talk to your friends on. I don't know what it is actually.
I think it's basically audio AV inputs, and it's a DVR.
Really.
Yeah, they're trying to be the guy that they're trying to be the device, the utility that plugs into your TV, and then you do everything through
Oh,
it. You play games.
This says
you.
it's just going to be called Xbox instead of Xbox 720.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they're going to go all Apple on us.
The new
the
Xbox.
new Xbox.
Yes.
And like, yeah, never mind. I already beat that one to death. So okay, I had a toss up between my number 2 and my number 1 picks as far as my favorite hardware this week. And just out of principle, I had to pick this one as my number 2, but this one very easily could have been my number 1 pick. I think it's one of the coolest things I've seen in a very long time. It's made by Kohler. Do you recognize the name Kohler?
Yes.
Who are they?
They're they're an appliance manufacturer.
Make faucets,
Yeah.
right? So Kohler is making a thing called the Moxie. If you got your computers up, take a look at it really quick. The Kohler Moxie. It's a shower head that has a Bluetooth speaker embedded in the shower head.
That's pretty sweet.
Isn't that cool?
I like that.
It's actually a shower head that goes onto your shower. You hook it into your shower. Right in the middle is a Bluetooth speaker.
Oh, that's cool.
And the Bluetooth speaker is magnetically put in there, so you can pull that out and charge it, or you can just walk around with the speaker and use it as a speaker too. So you set your phone on the sink when you jump in the shower. It's a Bluetooth. You can be 30 feet away from it and have it play whatever you want, like this podcast while you're showering. Oh, that's disturbing.
No, what's
Probably
disturbing?
shouldn't have said that.
What's disturbing is how happy this woman in the picture is on the website to be showering.
Well,
I
yeah,
can only assume it's because she's listening to your podcast.
must be.
Yeah, she's so happy.
But isn't that cool?
And this lady, she's not even in the shower, and she's having a grand time standing in her bathroom listening to it.
So you pop the little module out and you can charge it, and then when you're taking a shower, you pop it in there and shower, and the speaker's right there. And
She is disturbingly happy in this picture.
there's a guy there that's pretty happy too.
I've never smiled that much in the shower.
Yeah, she is listening to our podcast and she's going, "Oh, that Ben." Makes
So-
me so happy.
I don't know. Would you buy one of these? I don't know
Yeah,
how much
it's
they
pretty
are.
cool. If
I
it's-
think it's a cool idea.
50 or 60 bucks, why not?
Well, I mean, do you have speakers in your bathroom?
No,
You listen to music in the morning when you're getting ready or anything?
I don't.
Do you?
Usually, if not in the mornings, if I go for a run, which I haven't done for a while, but if I go running,
Right.
I'll get home and the music's still I'll unplug and just
Yeah.
set my phone on the counter while I get a
That's
shower.
what I do too. But you can't really hear your phone very well with the shower going. This is perfect.
No,
This is
yeah,
awesome.
that'd be awesome.
This
Perfect
is
for it.
cool, but there's a couple things they need to add to this. One is having the water actually provide the power. This is a thing that you can do this. They make shower heads that
Yes, that's
have LED rings around them, and the flow of the water actually
powers it?
powers
That's
the
cool.
LEDs.
So it recharge it as the shower goes. It recharges the battery or whatever.
I
Or
don't.
power it.
I don't think it recharges the battery. Like I think
It
it
just powers
actively
it,
just
yeah.
powers it. So
That's
you
That
would,
is cool.
you would have to adapt that and actually
is
have
cool.
it store the power
Okay,
possibly.
what else do you want on it?
Also, it needs AirPlay. It needs to have AirPlay. I don't like Bluetooth. It's a pain in the butt
Yeah.
pairing it and stuff.
Yeah, it's not
AirPlay,
bad.
you just click it and it goes.
And then what else? Microphone. So you could take calls while you're in the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that would work. I don't know. I thought it was pretty
and
cool.
then implement the brain reading technology. So you start thinking about somebody in the shower. It go ahead and calls them automatically.
Now we're getting real
Yeah.
disturbing. Oh, Ben on that podcast. All of a sudden
Yep.
your phone rings.
Hello. Another one.
I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. And this is actually going to really diminish the next story because I remember I said that I would have swapped either one of these, but I just really couldn't in my right mind swap it.
What about your left mind?
Yeah.
I might have to take
This
a call
is-
real quick. I'm going to
okay.
step out for just a second.
No, you're fine.
Oh, no.
Have you seen the video of the Blue Origin?
No,
Ben?
what is that?
It's actually really cool. What it is, let's see if I can go to the actual YouTube page for it. Blue Origin is a company developed by the guy from Amazon. What's his name? Bazo or something like that, I think is his name. It's a developing technology to enable human access to space at a dramatically lower cost than what NASA was doing. So these are the guys that put rockets up into space right now. They've also they've actually got they're also doing what they're doing is instead of a shuttle, they're putting ships up into space, and they're actually having them use their rockets to come back down and land. So, hold on a second. I'll stop it for a second.
The shuttle.
Okay, we're back now.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Andy had an emergency, had to bail out, so we're back now. So,
Okay.
yeah, Blue Origin, check it out. It's the Shepard prototype. They just launched it yesterday, and launched it up about a couple hundred feet, 200-300 feet in the air, and then reversed its rockets and brought it back down very slowly and landed it perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a reusable, like a space shuttle, except it doesn't glide and land, and it's kind of like a module, but it doesn't splash down. It actually lands softly on land.
Okay.
It's pretty cool, and this very successful launch. It actually looked really cool. Check it out on YouTube. You can check out Blue Origin Shepard prototype. It's actually really cool, and this is their first launch, and very successful launch as far as it looks. So, again, I kind of feel weird saying I like a shower head almost as much as this, but this is actually going to be a really big deal for the space program.
Yeah. How more opposite ends of the spectrum could these two things be on?
I know, but I like them both equally. I don't know. What do you think about the private sector getting into space?
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
One, it opens up a lot of doors.
Right.
And two, I don't know if I'm in this camp, but a lot of people complain about, hey, we've got all these problems on Earth. Why are we exploring space?
Yeah.
We're spending all this money to do this.
You said you don't know if you're in that.
Yeah, I'm not sure where I fall on that.
I think it's a good thing. We've received so much positive from space stuff.
Yeah, I think
and
I'm with
so
you
much
there.
stuff that I think it's a necessity. I think it's something that we really need to do.
Mm-hmm. Like a lot of the advancements that we've come across over the many years, a lot of stuff has come to fruition because of the space program.
Yeah, and I think more than any of us really even know. I really think that it's a huge deal. I like the idea that private industry is getting into it because they seem to be advancing pretty quickly. NASA, I think, is restrained by government restrictions. Of course, they have more money; they're able to fund projects better. But I think just the things like the Falcon launch and docking with the International Space Station, and now this thing going up and landing. There's some pretty cool stuff involved, and it seems like people are really forward thinking. And trying to do it a lot cheaper than what the government was doing it for. So I think we're going to see some pretty good advancements pretty soon in space travel.
Yeah, that's awesome
But we'll
because
see.
space is awesome.
I think it's cool. I'm hoping we'll do some stuff pretty quickly. I know we're going to have I know the NASA's talking about another moon missions with actually setting up something on the moon to stay up there and stuff. So we'll see. I wish Andy was here because he talks more. He knows a lot more about the space stuff.
Yeah.
He's kind of a space geek. So
Yeah, he is.
but we'll get back with him at some point and chat about this stuff in a little bit. So
I like to watch sci-fi.
so let's take a little break here. Again, not really, but we're going to, and hear about another podcast on the Horribly Underprepared Network. Sorry.
Hey Adam, do you like comics?
Yeah?
Movies?
Yeah.
Video games?
Hell yeah.
Well, we record a podcast for that. It's called Geekorama. You're on it.
I should know.
It's a psychobilly freakout!
I know that didn't have anything to do with anything, but I really wanted to play this song today for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
Who sings this song?
It's Reverend Horton Heat,
Ah, that's right.
Sick Belly Freak Out.
This song was on one of the Guitar Hero games.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
This would be a hard guitar song.
Yeah, it was. If I remember right, it wasn't easy.
I didn't realize it was on that.
Yeah.
It's a fun song though. I don't know, for some reason I just wanted to play it. Geekorama. Listen to it. It's pretty good.
Make me.
Have you listened to it at all?
Yeah.
Nice one.
I have listened to their stuff. But I don't know. Usually when I listen to podcasts, it's like at night, and a lot of times I fall asleep like quarter of the way into it. But yeah, their stuff's good. I started listening to their the Watchmen stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
I don't know anything about the Watchmen. I know Adam was on on Horribly Underprepared this week, so they talk a little bit about stuff there too. So anyway, check out Geekorama. You can find them on I think they're on the Horribly Underprepared podcast or horriblyunderprepared.com.
Yeah, you can definitely find them there.
Cool. All right, well, let's get some news and we'll get out of here.
Okay.
Let's see, news. I've got a couple stories. Let's talk about some big businesses and acquisitions, I guess it would be called, right?
Sure.
So two kind of completely opposite stories that I'm going to touch on really quick. You know who Cisco is, obviously.
Yeah.
Giant networking company,
Mm-hmm.
huge. They just bought a company, and I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it right. It's called Meraki, or Meraki, Meraki.
Okay.
Meraki. I don't know. I have no idea. There's no pronunciators in here, so I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But they just bought them for $1.2 billion in cash, and then So I read up on them a little bit, and basically what they are is they're a bunch of guys that were at MIT, and they started up a little startup company. They just barely went, no, they haven't gone public yet. They just started up a startup company. They were thinking about going public. What they do is they do network service. So they set up wireless networks, and then they also, so like if you go to Starbucks and you get on the internet at Starbucks, that's one of their servers. That's one of their things. They do this wireless networking for businesses and stuff like that. So that's one of their things. They also manage those through cloud services.
Mm-hmm.
So if they say Starbucks has a problem with their system, they call up this thing and they can manage them fully over the cloud. They rarely have to send techs out to do anything. They do everything through the cloud. So it's a big company. It's a pretty big company. They do lots of wireless stuff, and they manage it by the cloud. So you can kind of see why Cisco would be interested in something like that with their technology. So basically, they're a bunch of guys from MIT. They were good friends. They started this thing up, and it was interesting. They only have like 200 employees or something like that. They basically just said, look, we didn't want to get bought out, but they gave us such a good offer. There's no way we could refuse it. Over $1 billion for this company.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, our full intentions was to go public and to IPO. And they said, with the latest IPOs that have happened in the tech industry, they just haven't gone very well. And we think we're better off taking this giant offer from Cisco.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's where that is. That was an interesting story. Little company, little startup that got taken over by Cisco or bought out by Cisco, which I think is a good thing. On this kind of the flip side of this, there's a little company called Vigil. Have you ever heard of Vigil?
No.
Vigil's kind of an interesting company. Let's say you're watching a TV show, okay? In the past, how were TV shows paid for?
Through cable providers
or advertising, cable providers,
advertising.
cable subscriptions, advertising, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how they're paid for. It makes sense, but they don't really know who's watching the shows. They can't get really good numbers on it. So what Vigil does is actually you can earn points towards things like discounts in the Apple Store, different things like that. You can earn points or discounts at Best Buy and all this kind of stuff. You earn points by watching TV. So if you're watching a show, you turn on the Vigil app on your phone or on your Android or your Apple, and it does a couple different things. It'll listen and make sure that you're actually watching the show. And if you're actually watching the show, you get points for it. Or it'll ask you questions about the show you're watching to make sure you're actually watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Then they can sell to advertisers more stuff because they know for sure that you're watching that
Yeah.
show.
This is your target. Yep, you hit it.
Right. And we can prove that you hit it because they're answering questions about the show that you're watching.
Mm-hmm.
Now, radio stations have done this forever. They always do the promotions like listen to win, listen for the secret word. And if you're listening between 5 and 7 p.m., we'll ask you to call with the secret word, forcing people to listen to it to win prizes. That's what Vigil basically does, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a real big company. They just barely, they just went public, I think just barely. They're not a real big company. They just bought Get Glue. You've probably heard of Get Glue.
I've heard of Get Glue.
Get Glue is a big company. They've been around since like 2007. They've got way more viewers or way more users on Get Glue than Vigil had. But it's just interesting that Vigil actually bought Get Glue rather than the other way around. Vigil's paying $25 million in cash and another $48.3 million in shares and stock. So it ends up being about a $60 to $70 million acquisition. So Vigil's putting out $60 to $70 million to buy Get Glue. And I forgot how many users. Anyway, a lot more users. I think they've got like almost 10 times the amount of users that Vigil has. But kind of interesting that a little company like that ends up buying this gigantic one. So Get Glue was launched in 2007. It has 3.2 million users, and Vigil only has 1.2 million.
Isn't Get Glue like you just watch TV shows and you get like stickers?
Kind of. Yeah, they kind of make it a little bit more social. So if you're watching a show and one of your friends is watching a show, you can chat about it or talk about the show or, do little things like that. So they make it kind of social to watch movies or watch TV together type of thing. It's all part of this second screen thing. Hey, you're watching this show, so also watch it on the internet using this application and you can communicate with your friends about it. Everybody's trying to nail down this second screen thing, and nobody's really been able to do it. Get Glue's probably been the most famous on doing it, but I think Vigil's got more.
I like their approach better.
I think so. I think they have more.
I can also see how the two of them together would be a really good combination.
Yeah, I think it would be. You got all the users, especially on Get Glue, and I think the people on Get Glue. I used it for a little while, to the point where it kind of got boring and I didn't want to use it anymore. But now, if they're going to give me stuff, I may use it. So it may be a way to get this 3.2 million users on Get Glue more active or stick with them longer. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that was kind of interesting. You got Cisco acquiring a smaller company, and then you got this little company, Vigil, acquiring a bigger company. Just kind of weird to see the acquisitions that are happening in tech right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, here's a pretty nasty article on ZNet this week talking about what not to buy on Black Friday. And basically they narrow it down to Windows 8 PCs and laptops.
Really?
Don't buy them.
Wow.
They give you a big list on why not to buy them. Let me just go over I'm not going to get into it because it's a big list.
Curious.
Double desktop disaster. He talks about Windows 8. I don't know if you know this. You can't have you can have two windows open at the same time, but you can't have them share the screen 50-50 like Windows 7, the Snap to thing. It doesn't allow you to do that.
Snap?
Yeah,
That's
gone.
the best thing about Windows
Gone.
7.
I know, I loved it. Talks about application woes. There's just not a lot of apps available for it yet. Not when you're looking at other things, that are out there. He talks about botched built-in functionality. Some of the things that are not in this is he talks about the start button. He talks about what else? Search for search issues. It's hard to search anything on there. The messaging isn't working right. Different things like that. He also talks about. He says don't buy it on Black Friday because it's too new. There's a lot of things that Windows is working out right now. You probably want to wait to buy it. He also talks about the flat UI, the user interface, the flat UI. He says it's hard to tell what are buttons and what are just text because you don't have that 3D effect like you had in Windows 7. So it's hard to tell what are buttons and what are just text. So it's hard to tell what to click on. so it's not very functional that way.
Hmm.
Pretty scathing report. I think people are kind of a little, yeah. He did it's pretty nasty. Doesn't look like anything, doesn't seem like he did very much as far as making Windows happy at this time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of Windows deals out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he says don't do it.
Interesting.
So I thought that was an interesting story. What do you have you played with Windows 7 or Windows 8 much?
No. I see no reason to play with it, really.
Okay, so I have an MSI desktop that's a little what do you call it? It's a all-in-one,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got a touchscreen on it. So I'm thinking, okay, what's a better computer to put Windows 8 on to try it out? It's got touch, it's a little all-in-one, so it'd probably work out really well with Windows 8. So I bought Windows 8, paid the $40 for the upgrade from Windows 7 Pro to Windows 8 Pro. Put it on my machine, started it up, and first thing it says is you have no internet connection. I don't have an internet cable plugged in because my computer has Wi-Fi. It doesn't see my Wi-Fi. Has no idea where it is. And I can't find in Windows 8 how to put my drivers on it. So now I'm going to have to spend hours and hours scouring the internet to try to figure out how to add drivers to Windows 8 to get my network going. A little frustrated with that. And the other thing is my touch is off now, and I can't figure out any way to calibrate my touch. So I got to figure out so I can't use my touch at all. So I'm using a mouse and a keypad, and I can't use my internet at all. So a little frustrated.
Nice. It
It's like
broke your computer.
$40 to break my computer. I'll give you more updates as far as that goes, but for now I'm a little pissed off, a little frustrated with it, so I probably am not going to get into it too much.
Wow. So right now your computer's just sitting at home pretty much useless.
Pretty much. I mean, I can plug a cable into it and get online with it, but yeah, my Wi-Fi is not working and my touch is not calibrated. I don't know what else isn't working because I got frustrated and
do you typically use the touch on it a lot?
Not really,
Yeah.
but with the Metro or the not Metro, whatever the new thing's called. I wanted to try it, and it's just not working. So I guess I'll keep everybody up to date, but right now I'm not real happy with it. So according to me and ZDNet, avoid Black Friday Windows 8 machines. Probably something you want to avoid for a bit. Number one news story, weird story that I'm trying to wrap my head around a little bit. You know the name John McAfee?
Yes.
Okay, he's a antivirus software pioneer is what they're calling him. He's sought in connection with a murder in Belize right now. He supposedly, the cops are saying that he was involved in the murder of a neighbor, and the police are looking for him, and he's running. He's staying away from him. But he's also, as he's running from the cops, he's decided to write a blog to talk about how he's running from the cops.
Okay.
So he's got a blog out there, and he says he fears for his life if he's arrested. He says if he's arrested because of the jails and police and everything, that he would die in jail. So he's afraid of going to jail, so he's running. One of his quotes, it says, "If I survive the 30 days until the government is required to charge me or charge an accused criminal, which I doubt very strongly, lots of people do die in prison." So he says he doesn't want to go to jail because he's afraid within that 30 days of being charged that he's going to die. He's saying, I'm not guilty. I'm not running because I'm guilty. I'm running because I'd have to sit in jail for 30 days in a Belize jail, and I'd probably die there. So he's running around, and he's writing his little blog. I think his blog is called The Hinterland, Hinterland. And he's running around with a 20-year-old. Where is this part? This is kind of interesting. He's running around with a 20-year-old woman, and what he writes about her, I gotta read this exactly because it's kind of interesting. He says he's been traveling with a 20-year-old woman named Samantha, whom he credits with helping keep him fed and clothed and in hiding. And then here's a quote from his blog. "She has also helped me evade detection by grabbing and kissing me in public in a fashion that causes passersby to feel embarrassment at the thought of sharing and creating emotional scenes that cause the curious to momentarily forget what they're looking for. She is actually aware of her surroundings and is as street smart as a sober hobo.
Okay.
So he's running around with this 20-year-old, and she's kissing him to make people feel uncomfortable who are looking for him. Whatever.
Okay.
Hold on a second.
Let me turn my curling iron off.
That's you. For some reason, you're buzzing. That's weird. Let me. Sorry, everybody. Man, this is weird technical difficulties today. You're back.
All right.
That was just really odd.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry about that, everybody. I may cut that, but I don't know if I can now that I apologized for it.
Sorry.
Anyway, weird story. This guy, he's the guy who put together McAfee antivirus. You know, everybody's got it on their computer. Wish they didn't have it on their computer, but everybody's got it on their computer. Now he's running around with some 20-year-old trying to escape the police because he is being accused of killing his neighbor, who's also an American expat in Belize. So, I don't know. Have you heard anything about this story?
No, not really. Just that he's on the run he's suspected of,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Do you think he killed his neighbor?
I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I really don't. I just know that it's weird that he's running. I mean, I understand what he's saying, why he's running, but it seems kind of odd that he's
Do you
running.
think he'd really die in prison?
No.
No.
I think the Belize government would be stupid to put him in any danger in prison because he's a well-known American expat.
Uh-huh.
You put a well-known American expat who's scared of dying in prison into prison and he dies, that's going to bring the whole American government down upon you. They're not going to be that stupid. They would take all precautions to make sure it doesn't happen. So, and I think he knows that too. So I have a feeling that I don't know. Again, pure speculation. That there's something else going on. I don't think he's necessarily saying what he really thinks. I don't know. Interesting story, though. I'm curious to find out where that goes. It's out there all over the place, so check it out. Anything else you have?
No, I got nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Anything you want to?
Typical Ben fashion.
Anything you want to promote, plug? Anything?
Bench mob.
Bench mob.
They talk about sports.
Yes, they do. And that's it? They just talk about sports?
Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
Talk about sports. They talk about little kind of pop culture type stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Makes
fun.
sense.
Check them out. I think we already talked about Geekorama. We already talked about Horribly Underprepared.
Yep.
And watch our video feed. We got a new camera, and Ben was playing with the stuff today. So everybody say hi. We're going to check it out. HorriblyUnderprepared.com. It's kind of fun. So anyway.
Adios,
good to go?
amigos.
All right, see ya.
Is that what happens when you feel the sound? But if that was me, I would be on the ground. I would not get up, I would dance on my back, throw my legs up in the air like I thought, yeah, and wave them from side to side. Then I buzz into a windmill, then right into a backspin. Freaker, right by the speaker, never seem to get enough. Priceless expression when space